Hey everybody, Grant here. I'm 60 years old and I work out at home. This video is about keeping it simple, less is more, compound exercises, changing as you get older, and to be honest, if we were really being honest, there are only half a dozen or so exercises you really need to do, unless you are training specifically for a sport and you want to isolate. But as I'm seeing that now, the exercises I started out with as a teenager and in my 20s, those compound movements are becoming more important again. And my body is telling me that all of these isolation exercises you're doing twice a week on all these muscles is getting to be a bit too much. So I'm here to tell you today that you probably only need about 6 or so exercises as far as strength training goes. And then, of course, you're going to want to do some core and some type of cardio, some walking or biking or whatever you enjoy doing. You need to think about as you get older, you know, when you're isolating your muscles, you're really working them. You're probably overworking them at some point. We're all different. We're all different fitness levels, and you're going to find that pulling back and doing compound movements, you're going to benefit. You might even feel better. You might even get stronger because now you're doing exercises that are more efficient, time efficient, but you're also able to use maybe a little bit more weight. And you're not just focusing on 3 different tricep exercises or 4 back exercises. You're doing 1 or 2. So what are compound exercises? If you don't know, a compound exercise is a movement that uses multiple uh, hinge points on your body. So a squat, you'd be using a hip, knee, and a little bit of ankle, maybe, depending on how wobbly you are, but hip and knee for sure. And rows, you'd be using, your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders, to help get that weight up, etc., or deadlifts. So multi-joint exercises is what compound is. They're like functional movements. So your everyday life movements that you do when you get up from the couch or from the kitchen chair, you get out of the car, when you're picking the groceries up or you're picking your kids or your grandkids up and you're lifting them up and like all of these different things that you do on a daily basis you don't even think about. You can exercise in a way that makes you stronger and gives you more independence for longer uh, as we age if you do these. Probably more so than isolation exercises will over time. They help with mobility, strength, and they'll also help with the tendons, with the knee, like all the joints. And like I said a little while ago, they're time efficient. So doing 6 exercises, you won't do all of these in one workout. Let's say you split them up in half and you do each group twice a week. So you're doing, let's say, 4 weightlifting or strength training workouts a week, and then you'll do your core and your cardio on top of that throughout the week. But now you're only doing 4 strength training workouts a week. Myself, I do 6, sometimes 7 a week, which even though I'm only 60, I'm starting to feel that that's getting to be a little bit too much. Now, if you're new to exercising and you're just entering this world of strength training, it's not going to be a big deal for you. You're going to move right into these compound movements, and it's going to be quite easy for you. Whereas some of us who are going to be transitioning from doing things differently than we have over the years, it's going to take a little bit of getting used to and a little bit of trust. You need to trust that these exercises work, and it's all you really need. You can, myself personally, I'm slowly transitioning now. Right now, I do a few compound movements and a whole bunch of isolation exercises. Well, I'm paring down my isolation exercises and ramping up my compound movements. And then I can definitely see I'm 60 now, I don't know, when I'm mid 70s, let's say, maybe 70s, depends on my health. Um, I'll probably just be doing compound movements, but we'll see. I don't know. But I know there are some people out there that that's all they need to do. Compound movement is good enough, and it is. It's good enough. Like if we're being honest, sticking to the basics, keeping it simple, it's all you need. You don't need to do all of these extra exercises all the time. If you just want to be functionally strong and able and mobile and able to just go about your day, and you just want to be, strength training a bit, it's all those, they're all you need to do. 6 exercises. Now, when I'm done talking here, I'm going to take you through a bit of what a workout would look like, a compound workout would look like for you if you're doing these 6 exercises. So I'm gonna tell you what they are, and if you've ever exercised or you know anything about exercising, you've heard all of these before, and for good reason. They work, and it's all you need to do. I don't know how many times we see them and we think, oh, that's why would I just want to do squats? How boring. Well, squats is all you need to do. Now, of course, there's different variations of squats. You can do a regular body weight squat. You can do a goblet squat, so you can add weight and it won't put a lot of extra stress on your lower back. You can do sumo squats, so it works a lot more of your adductors. There's different ways, but at the end of the day, you just need squats. That's one. Number two, deadlifts. Man, it's such a good exercise. A deadlift works your whole posterior chain, the whole back, your whole backside, and your grip, and your shoulders, and your quads. I don't know if it's the king of compound movements. It's between that or squats. I don't know. I'm guessing deadlifts probably is. If you're able to do it properly and not put your back out, because it can be a an exercise that's hard on your body if you aren't strict with how you do it. So deadlifts, rows, back rows of some sort, whether it's barbell or dumbbell rows. You This is essential for right from your grip strength right up into your back, and rows are I love doing rows. Rows are probably one of my favorite exercises, and you can take a set of dumbbells and you can work your upper back, you can work your lower back, your lats. You can do your deadlifts with your dumbbells, and then do a superset of rows. Um, you know, and just with those 3 exercises, now you've covered almost your whole body. You're engaging your core when you're doing these movements too, right? So you're not missing much here. Next, some type of a bench press, flat press off the ground. You can do with dumbbells or a barbell if you want. Dumbbells, you can take them. If you don't have a bench press, you can do them on the ground. Incline, just some type of a press, works your chest and your shoulders uh, and your triceps. And then there's the overhead press. Now, an overhead press you can use with dumbbells, you can use it with a barbell, just anything where you're pushing up. You don't need to always be doing isolation exercises for your rear delts or your side delts. It's nice to do that. It looks good, when you're younger and or maybe when you're older. I don't know. When I'm older, I'll let you know. But overhead press is the other one. And lastly, we have pull-ups. Again, this one, it's a good exercise and it's good for your back. And again, it's good for your arms, your biceps, and your forearms, and your grip strength, your core. Um, but you might not need to do it as much if you're doing a lot of other, like if you're doing deadlifts and rows. but I would recommend some type of pull up or even a pull down if you have an apparatus like a Bowflex or a cable or what do they call those at the gym? Like the Nautilus machines. Or you can do dead hangs where you just grab onto something and you just hang there. And now you're stretching out your spine, you're working your grip, which is extremely important as we age. Keep that grip. You gotta be able to open that pickle jar. Gotta. So those are the exercises or the compound movements. Now there are variations, like I said, of each. So now we're going to do 2 workouts. I'm going to split up the movements that I just gave to you in a way that I feel makes sense, especially for me. If I was just going to do uh, these 6 compound movements twice a week, how would I do them? And I'll let you know how many I would do, etc. And then you can run with that and see if that works for you. And lastly, though, let me say again, for myself personally, I'm not doing all of these and that's it now. I'm slowly moving into these compound movements again. I used to do them 30, 40 years ago. And some of them are gonna take over some of the isolation exercises that I'm doing. So, but then eventually in 10, 15 years, it's just going to be these 6 guys. Okay? So, that being said, let's get into a workout. So, now we're going to get into the workout. I structured it. Let me start over. Now we're going to get into the workout. So, the way I would do this at first is on day 1, I would do squats, deadlifts, and some type of row. The next day, I would do bench press, overhead press, and pull-ups or dead hang of some sort. Now, the reason I don't have pull-ups with my deadlifts and rows is because it's probably a little bit too much. And I'm not going to go too hard on pull-ups. I'm going to push it on deadlifts and rows when I get into the routine of doing these. So that's it. This is day 1, day 2. Take a day off, then go day 1, day 2 again. Then what's that? So then take the weekend off. You could do this Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And then also, what else do I have here? 2 to 3 sets of each with a moderate weight at first until you get the feel of it. Like I said, twice a week. And then also don't forget to include core. You have to do core. Core exercises are just as important, or if not more important than all of these. Cardio, you can do cardio every day, and you should. I walk every day. I don't care. I walk, and sometimes I do other things as well, biking and a little bit of jogging or whatever, running around with my son. So that's it. So now we're going to start with workout number 1, squats, deadlifts, and rows. Okay, so for my squats, deadlifts, and rows, I'm going to do goblet squats so that I'm using weight. And then I'm going to use dumbbells for deadlifts and dumbbells for rows. So here's how fast you can go through one set. Like I said, do 2 to 3 sets of each exercise in each workout. This is how fast, okay? Make sure you warm up first, whatever you need to do, walk, whatever else. So this is a goblet squat. Imagine doing a body weight squat, but holding a dumbbell just in front of you. Don't hold it out like this. You're putting strain on your lower back. Hold it right up against your body. And that's it. Squat normal. And do 12 to 15 reps or more if you want. Or add more weight. That's your choice. Make sure you keep your back straight as you go down, up and down. I wasn't counting, so this will be a surprise when I look back on the video how many reps I did. Okay, so now I'm going to do deadlifts. So for that goblet squat, if I was being really, this was part of my regular routine, I was just doing these, I would probably add weight and reps to that. So deadlifts, if you don't know what deadlifts are or how to do them, look back on the last few videos of mine and you'll see. And the reason I did squats first was to warm up for the deadlifts. because I feel deadlifts are harder on your back, etc., than squats will be. At least for me, in my case anyways. And again, Grant wasn't counting reps. One more. Okay, so now you could take a rest, or you could superset these all these exercises. I'm breathing heavy. And do some rows. Now for rows, I do dumbbells. I love dumbbell rows. Lats, pull it back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now you could do like spider rows where you go for your upper back instead of pulling it back like that. You're thinking about squeezing the shoulder blades together. Now for that one, like I'm just running through just to show you how fast you can knock those off, but I would probably do, since I'm doing these twice a week, one workout I would do for lats, the other one I would do the spider rows, and I'd probably go on my bench, on an incline bench, a low incline, so I can concentrate just on that movement. But that's it. That's how fast you can knock through these. That was one set of squats, deadlifts, and rows. Do that a couple more times, and that's your workout. Now, of course, as you add weight, you're going to want to take a little rest in between each set. Or if you want to do it like I just did it, do a superset of each. And if you don't care about doing the heavier weights, that works too. I can kind of feel that a bit in my back just from doing that. So, yeah. So next up, we'll do the bench press and overhead press and pull-ups or a dead hang. So on day 2, I'd be doing something like bench press, or I didn't mention earlier, but push-ups is also a good option, and which is one that I'd probably do more of. I seem to get more out of push-ups than I do from bench press for some reason. An overhead press for your shoulder area and triceps, and of course bench press or push-up will work triceps as well, and pull-ups of some sort, or pull downs, or a dead hang even, because we did cover our back quite a bit over here with deadlifts and rows, but it's still good to get the body moving pulling in a different way to make sure we're strong in all different directions. So first up, so day 2, bench press. I'm going to do bench press even though I like push-ups better. I don't think I'm normal that way. I think that a lot of you guys probably like bench press. I think. Let me know. I'd be curious. But I choose an incline, and I'm all squashed over here so I can show you guys. But I do an incline dumbbell press. I don't really like barbell because it really restricts your shoulders, and I have had shoulder trouble over the years. And this is obviously a little light for me, but even if I slowed it down, it's still, it's challenging, but it's not really that challenging. But we have to do what's good for each of us. Okay, so that would be one set. Then you could do a set of overhead press. Now, I would have my bench up in a 90-degree. Actually, I'm going to do that. Since you're sitting there watching, I'm going to do this while you sit there and watch. All right. Okay. Now I'm doing a shoulder press. Sitting back straight. Now, when I press up, if I have my palms facing forward, it's going to hit more of the shoulder, like the side delts with the front delts. But if I turn them in a bit, it's going to work a little bit more of the front but also the side delts. And those rear delts are really hard to hit. So right about here for me on about a 45 is a good spot for this exercise. Okay, so that's 2 of my 3 exercises I'm doing, compound movements, for my workout today. So now I'm going to get into some pull-ups. Now I'm just going to do a dead hang. Stretch out that spine and back. Okay. Okay, so there you have 6 moves, compound movements that you can do twice a week, 2 to 3 sets of each for each workout. If you're trying to get stronger, you're going to want to push add a little weight once in a while, extra reps. You want to have a journal to keep track of that so you know you're progressing. And that's it. That's basically all you need to do, really, if you're just straight up strength training and trying to keep functional strength as an older adult. So let me know what you think. See ya.